You got her signed.
Welcome.
Right over the plate.
Welcome into Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. We have a beautiful day for baseball here on a Sunday afternoon, a doubleheader between the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks and the Matsu Miners. The Chinooks come into tonight 16-22, and the Miners come into today's contest 23-15. This is Brad Walker. Alongside me is Connor Mills. We have an exciting one, as last night these two teams squared off, and the Chinooks walked it off in the bottom of the ninth inning. So the Miners losing a heartbreaker, as they are losers of 3 out of their past 5 games, and the Chinooks have won 2 in a row in 4 out of their last 6. The Miners come in leading the ABL by 2.5 games over the Anchorage Bucks, and the Chinooks are in the basement, but only a half game behind the Anchorage Glacier Pilots for a 4th place position and a spot in the ABL playoffs. The Chinooks lineup goes as follows, leading things off: the right fielder from Concordia University, Irvine, Bailey Collins, followed by the catcher out of UAB, J. Paul Fullerton. In the 3 spots, the center fielder from the University of Richmond, Anthony Forte. Cleaning things up today for the Chinooks is the third baseman from Indiana Wesleyan, Jordan Wharton. In the 5 spot is Luke Van Dover playing second base, and from Harding University, Nick Kreitzer's batting 6th from Arkansas Pine Bluff. In the 7th spot is Gregory Ozunia, the shortstop out of Wayland Baptist. Seth Bollinger bats 8th, and in the 9th spot, the designated hitter out of UAB, Cole Whitman. He'll be on to face left-handed thrower Josh Haley, who in 8 appearances this year and 6 starts in 44 innings has a 5th best ERA of 1.84, which is good. We just mentioned 5th best in the ABL. Has struck out 35 and has walked 10 this season. Mr. Haley has, out of the University of Arizona. So Bailey Collins will step up to the dish from the left side, and we'll get things going. Of the first game of today's doubleheader is underway, and this first pitch will just miss inside to Bailey Collins. So the count goes to 1-0. Going more on Mr. Haley's stats, he has faced the Chinooks once, and in one start has gone 6 innings, allowed 1 run, which was earned, gave up 3 hits, did not walk anyone, and had 5 strikeouts. So he nails with a strike there. The count is 1-1 in the top of the first inning. Haley from the wind. This one is a tapper over to first base. Henson running in, fields it, and a quick toss over to Haley. He's unable to gather it, and Bailey Collins is on to begin this ball game. As Collins reaches on the air, does have an on-base percentage of .361, so that'll improve, reaching right there.
A tough play for Spencer Henson to make. Charging in and busting out of the box was Bailey Collins. It would have been a bang-bang play, and it looks like it'll go an error.
J. Paul Fullerton will step to the dish from the left side. The catcher out of UAB is batting .263 this season. He has a .349 on-base percentage. He's looking to bunt, but he'll pull it back and take a strike outside. 0-1. So Haley will work from the stretch to begin this ball game between the Chinooks and Miners. Mentioned the Miners are trying to get back on a winning track. They've lost 2 or 3 out of their last 5. This one bunted down the third base line. Bozzetti picks it up, makes the strong throw to first for out number 1. But it does move Bailey Collins over to second base, and the Chinooks have a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. Miners defense goes as follows. The man behind the plate today is Aaron Walters. Over in the hot corners, Tyler Bozzetti. Drew Swift playing short. Second baseman Caleb Van Blake. And Spencer Henson's over at first base. In the outfield from left to right is Josh Hatcher, Chugiak-Eagle, and Nick Brooks. So 1 out, top of the first inning. Anthony Forte will step to the dish. A third left-handed batter for the Chinook squad, as Bailey Collins stands on first after the sack bunt by J. Paul Fullerton. Josh Haley delivers a breaking ball in the outside corner for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. So Haley from his torso checks second, now motions to the plate. This one is fouled behind us here in the press box. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. Mentioned Haley with those 35 strikeouts on the season. Is good for 5th in the ABL, so looking to get his first tonight. From the stretch, his pitch. A breaking ball that is a jam job, but hit behind us in the box. So we'll stay at 0-2. Forte on the season batting .278 with a .331 on-base percentage. Is the 5th best in RBIs in the ABL with 20. And a great opportunity to do so right now with the runner in scoring position and only 1 out. Haley's 1-2 pitch on the ground over to second base. Caleb Van Brake gathers it and throws to first for out number 2. Bailey Collins does advance to third on the 4-3 putout. So just 90 feet away is the game's first run, but the Chinooks will have to do it with 2 outs. Jordan Wharton steps to the dish with 35 hits this season, a batting average of .255 and on-base percentage of .354. Does have 13 RBIs, and 2 of them have come against the Miners. He stands in from the right side. He looks at a first pitch fastball in the inside part of the plate, 0-1. Josh Haley, in his last start, was his longest of the season against the Pilots. As he misses outside with another fastball, the count moves to 1-1, where he went 7 2/3, gave up 3 runs, one of which being earned, 5 hits, and walked 2. It was a no decision in that start. As Jordan Wharton swings through this off-speed pitch, he's now down on the count, 1-2, with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. No score yet between the Chinooks and Miners. So Haley working from the wind, his 1-2 pitch. This one hit high in the air to left field, but taking a few steps in is Josh Hatcher for out number 3. So Josh Haley, but the Chinooks will leave him stranded, and we're scoreless through half of an inning of play, and the Miners bats will come for the first time tonight when we return on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaskan Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
After a scoreless top of the first inning, the Miners will come to the plate for the first time today. Their lineup goes as follows. Caleb Van Blake lead things off out of UC Irvine, followed by Spencer Henson, the first baseman from Oral Roberts. Chugiak-Eagle's playing center field and also from Grand Canyon University. Right fielder out of Gonzaga is Nick Brooks, cleaning things up today for the Miners. The catcher, Aaron Walters from Texas A&M, bats 5th. Josh Hatcher, left fielder from Mississippi State, batting 6th. In the 7th spot is the third baseman out of the University of Nevada, Reno, Tyler Bozetti. Connor Denning, the designated hitter from Mesa Community College in Arizona, is batting 8th. And in the 9th spot, rounding things out for the Matsu Miners, is the shortstop from Arizona State, Drew Swift. He'll be on to face left-handed thrower Larson Kindrick. Kindrick just recently graduated high school, and this season's been pretty good for the Chinooks. In 7 appearances, 5 of them have been starts, 33 and a third innings pitched, a 4.32 ERA, and has a record of 1-2. He struck out 27 and walked 16 as well. As this is the 3rd time he'll be facing the Matsu Miners. As Caleb Van Blake will stand in from the left side of the plate. Van Blake this season, batting .314, has 22 hits and an on-base percentage of .462. So Kindrick from the wind misses inside with the fastball, 1-0. Van Blake's been pretty hot, has a hit in his 12 out of his past 13 games played. So seeing the ball really well as he's been moved up to the leadoff spot. This 1-0 pitch misses high, so the count goes to 2-0 with nobody out here in the bottom of the first.
And for Van Blake, not only is he getting hot, but he also gets on base a lot at .462, exactly what you want to see out of your leadoff guy.
Van Blake ropes one foul and over to the right side, just beyond the Miners bullpen. So the count goes to 2-1. Only playing 7 innings today, ladies and gentlemen, in both games. As that how double headers work here in the ABL. Van Blake skies one, foul to the left side. That's going to go out of play. Nice crowd on hand today at Herman Brothers Field. Nice to see a lot of support, even in Game 1. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in Palmer, Alaska. So Kindrick's 2-2 pitch. Looked at high from Caleb Van Blake. As Fullerton had to come out of the crouch to retrieve that one. The count is now 3-2. Van Blake has walked 10 times this season, but will need to protect with 2 strikes. This 3-2 is flared out of play on the left side, so we'll stay at a 3-2 count. Mentioned this is Kindrick's third time facing the minors. In 2 appearances, 0-1 in 9 2/3 innings, giving up 7 runs, none of which are earned. So this 3-2 pitch nails the inside corner. And plate umpire Scott Johnson rings him up for out number 1. With the first out, we'll run through the defensive starters for the Chinooks. J. Paul Fullerton's behind the dish. Over at third base, Jordan Wharton. Ozunia playing short. Van Dover is the second baseman, and Nick Kreitzer at first. Seth Bollinger in left field, Anthony Forte in center, and Bailey Collins is over in right field. The defense for the Chinooks tonight. So a lefty on righty matchup as Spencer Henson steps up to the plate with 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Kindrick's first pitch is swung at foul by Spencer Henson, so he'll go down the count 0-1. Henson having another great season for the Matsu Miners, carried over that great spring performance, is second in batting average with 347 so far this year. As Kindrick misses low in the dirt with the fastball, 1-1. Spencer also first in RBIs with 28, so driving in runs when needed. He's been pretty clutch this season for the Miners as he takes a strike on the lower portion of the plate, 1-2. No score has come across yet in this ball game. This 1-2 pitch into Henson misses well outside. The count goes to 2-2. Kindrick, we mentioned, graduating just out of high school, is a Biola University signee, or he'll join his older brother, Honus Kindrick, as he gets Spencer Henson to swing through an off-speed pitch. So Kindrick has set down the first 2 Matsu Miners via the strikeout. So Kindrick now with 29 strikeouts on the season. As Chugiak-Eagle steps to the dish from the left side. Kona batting very well of late, a 7-game hit streak in the past 3 games, 8 of 14 with 4 RBIs. So another lefty on lefty matchup for Larson Kindrick. His first pitch into Chugiak-Eagle misses inside, 1-0. 2 down, bottom of the first inning. No score between the Chinooks and Miners. This is a rematch of last night's contest, a check swing foul from Chugiak-Eagle, where the Chinooks were the victors over the Miners as they walked it off in the bottom of the 9th, thanks to Bailey Collins' RBI single. Chugiak-Eagle takes a big breaking pitch for a strike on the outer portion of the plate, so he's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kona, 4th in batting average this season with a .313, but he'll need to protect. 1-2 pitch. Swung at and missed by Chugiak-Eagle. He tried to check swing, but couldn't hold his hands back, and Larson Kindrick strikes out the side to begin this ball game as we are still scoreless through 1 inning of play here at Herman Brothers Field. Keep it here on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
I'm Josh Haley, left-handed pitcher from the University of Arizona, and you're listening to Matsu Miner Radio.
0-0 is your score through 1 inning of play between the Chinooks and Miners as Josh Haley toes the rubber for his 2nd inning of work. He'll face Luke Van Dover, Nick Kreitzer, and Gregory Ozunia, the 5, 6, 7 batters of the Chinooks, as they did have a runner reach in their leadoff man and Bailey Collins. Fortunately for the Chinooks, Josh Haley set the next 3 down in order. So Luke Van Dover stepping up to the dish from the right side out of Harding University, batting .248 with a .318 on base percentage on the summer campaign. He'll take a strike low, 0-1. Bit of a fun scene out in the Miners bullpen. They all seem to be supporting some traffic cones, trying to bring the energy in today's doubleheader. Josh Haley now ahead in the count, 0-2, thanks to a fastball that hits the lower inside corner. Trying to get Van Dover to strike out for the 28th time this season, as the Chinooks lead that category with .320. Josh Haley misses outside. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Haley working from the wind. His 1-2 offering is looked at just high for a ball. So Vandover has worked a 2-2 count.
And a couple waste pitches for Josh Haley there. Not missing over the plate. Trying to get him to chase.
Haley's 2-2 pitch. Nails the outside corner for strike 3. Josh Haley gets his first strikeout today. And out number 1 here in the top of the second inning.
Whenever you see your counterpart have 3 strikeouts in an inning, you kind of want to go back out onto the mounds and get a strikeout of your own. A nice start from Haley here in the top of the second.
The 321st time a Chinook has struck out this year. That's leading the ABL, and unfortunately, that's not one of the categories you want to say you're leading. So with 1 down, Nick Kreitzer steps up from the left side of the dish. He taps one foul over to the right side, so he'll go down on the count 0-1. Currently, this season series sits at 5-4. The Miners trying to clinch the series in this game 1, but the Chinooks have won the past 2 games. As Kreitzer now hits this one behind him into the backstop. He's fallen behind in the count 0-2.
And for some reason, over at Lee Jordan Field, the Miners couldn't find a win.
So Haley from the wind, his 0-2 pitch. Kreitzer taps it just over Caleb Van Blake's head. That's going to head to the wall in right center field. He'll round first, now hustling into second. The throw will be late and cut off by Caleb Van Blake. So Nick Kreitzer gets the first hit of the ball game with a 1-out double here in the second inning. That's his 6th double of the season and 23rd hit on the campaign. Now to bring up Gregory Ozunia, the shortstop from Wayland Baptist University. Batting from the right side, batting .245 with a .254 on base percentage. Has also driven 13 runs this season. So with 1 out, Josh Haley will have to work out of the stretch, just as he did in the first inning. As the Chinooks trying to win 3 games in a row and tie this season series up at 5. Haley's first pitch to Ozunia has him swinging through. A nice changeup. 0-1. Corners playing in for the Miners. Middle infield in regular depth, and the outfield is straight away. So Haley peeps second, now goes to the plate. This is a chopper down the third base line. Bozetti, quick reaction, throw to first in time for out number 2. Nice play from Tyler Bozetti in the hot corner. So we have 2 outs now in the top of the second inning. Still no score between the Chinooks and Miners. There is a runner in scoring position in Nick Kreitzer, who had a 1-out double. As Seth Bollinger steps to the dish from the left side. Bollinger batting .176 this season, but has a .306 on base percentage and has 3 hits in his past 2 games. So things are on the rise for Mr. Bollinger as he looks at a ball in the dirt, 1-0. Before these past 2 games, Bollinger was on a 6-game hitless streak. So really trying to find his way at the plate. Has done so in these past 2 games and looks to bring that into today's 2 matchups against the Miners. He'll take another ball inside, 2-0, with 2 down here in the second inning. So Josh Haley trying to work another scoreless inning for this Miners team. His 2-0 delivery. It's a fastball that just misses outside, so he's fallen behind to Seth Bollinger, 3-0. Bollinger has drawn 18 walks this season, as the Chinooks are 5th in that category, 127 on the year. As Josh Haley hits that lower outside corner with the strike to the left-hander hitting Bollinger. So Kreitzer on second, Bollinger at the dish, Haley on the rubber. His 3-1. Bollinger skies it into center field. Moving in quickly is Chugiak-Eagle, but moving back from the shortstop position to make the catch was Drew Swift for out number 3. So Josh Haley surrenders a hit, but the Chinooks will leave yet another runner on here in the top of the second inning. Still no score between the Chinooks and Miners on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hi guys, Drew Swift, infielder from Arizona State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
4, 5, 6 batters drew up for the Matsu Miners in the bottom of the second inning, as there has yet to be a run come across between an inning and a half played between the Chinooks and Miners. Larson Kindrick will toe the rubber for his second inning of work. He'll be facing Nick Brooks, Aaron Walters, and Josh Hatcher. Brooks leads it off, batting from the right side. This is just his third game played against the Chinooks. In 2 games, he is just 1 of 8, getting a hit back in the first time he saw Chugiak. And on the season so far, Nick Brooks, 7 hits and 26 at-bats, but has reached base at a clip of 424. So he'll lead things off in the bottom of the second inning as the Miners look to draw first blood. He towers one high into right foul ground in front of the Miners dugout, and fighting the sun but still managing to make the catch was Nick Kreitzer for out number 1. Kreitzer having to drop down to his knees to make the catch for that one. Seems like he lost in the sun, but quick reflexes to gather it.
Always tough when you lose the ball in the sun like that, but like you said, great reflexes to make the catch.
Aaron Walters steps in from the left side, a lefty on lefty matchup here in the bottom of the second inning with 1 out. Walters with a 288 average and batting, or rather getting on base at a rate of 319 this year, as he takes a ball inside 1-0. Kindrick from the wind, his 1-0 pitch. This one is hit high in the air over to the right side. Second baseman Luke Van Dover's under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 straight flyouts for the Miners, as they have sent 5 to the dish and 5 have walked back to the dugout. That brings up Josh Hatcher. He looks to break this little streak that Larson Kindrick is on. He stands in from the left side, batting .250 with a .326 on base percentage this season. Has 5 hits in his past 20 at-bats. First pitch from Kindrick misses inside to Hatcher, who had to bounce out of the way of it. 1-0. 2 down, bottom of the second inning. Miners looking to get across the game's first run, as Hatcher bounces this one foul and over to the right side, as the Miners are the best hitting team in the ABL at a clip of .258. And at home, they've been pretty good this season as well, batting .280 and averaging 4.7 runs per game. So Kindrick's 1-1 is clobbered into right center field. That's going to be on the hop before any of the Chinooks outfielders can get to it. Josh Hatcher speeds into second base and slides in safely with a 2-out double. So the Miners get their first hit as well in the second inning, and it comes on a double, just like the Chinooks. And Tyler Bozetti will step up to the plate with 2 outs now in the bottom of the second inning.
For Josh Hatcher, that was a hustle double. That wasn't deep out into the gap in right center field, but just enough, and Hatcher running around very fast. Nice play.
Tyler Bozetti, whose 11-game hit streak came to a close last night in just his 13th game without a hit, has a chance to bring across the game's first run with 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. So Kindrick will work out of the stretch for the first time today. His first pitch to Bozetti is a strike on the outer portion of the plate, as there is already some action in the Chinooks pen, as Kindrick did get enough rest. His last appearance was on July 17th. So we'll have to be wondering if it's just a precautionary measure out of the Chinooks, as this 0-1 pitch into Bozetti hits the upper outside corner. He's now down on the count 0-2. Tybo batting .248 this season with a .343 on base percentage. Has also driven in 12 runs, as he looks to add to that with Josh Hatcher standing on second base after he doubled. So Kindrick, his 0-2 pitch. Bozetti gets a hold of it. This one's going into the gap of left center field. Josh Hatcher around third. He will score. Tyler Bozetti running into second base. He delivers, and the Miners will strike first in the first game of today's doubleheader. They lead the Chinooks 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning.
Just a nice piece of hitting from Tyler Bozetti. The electric factory is going wild out there. Looks like they just caught a fish. But fantastic job by Tybo.
Gotta love it. Tyler Bozetti says, let me get back on another hitting streak. So now he's hit in 11 out of his past 12 games and 13 RBIs now on the season thanks to its 10th double. Connor Denning, the switch-hitting designated hitter, will step up to the plate, batting from the right side, and he'll have a runner on second as well. So Kindrick still working from the stretch. His first pitch to Connor Denning misses high and away. Denning only has 29 at-bats this season, 5 hits to go with it, has reached on base at a clip of 314, and only driven in 2 runs. So not getting a whole lot of playing time this season is Connor Denning, but trying to make it count right now. Kindrick's second pitch to Denning misses low. The count goes to 2-0. So Josh Hatcher with that 2-out double, that's followed up by Tyler Bozzetti's double as well that brought in Hatcher. So the Miners now leading the Chinooks 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Kindrick from his chest, his 2-0 pitch is looked at for a strike. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. Connor Denning, this is his first game since July 12th. As I mentioned, not getting a whole lot of playing time, but still a guy that puts in the work, always in the batting cages, and always showing up on time, doing the right things. Kindrick's 2-1 offering. This one misses outside as well, so the count is 3-1. All 4 of Kindrick's pitches in this at-bat have been on the outside, only one of them hitting the outside corner. So the Miners, who got on the Chinooks early last night, scored a run the second inning as well. Fortunately, can only score 1 more throughout the rest of that game. This 3-1 is flared into shallow right field. Moving in is Bailey Collins, can of corn, for out number 3. But not before the Matsu Miners get 2 hits and 1 run in the bottom of the second inning. They now lead the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks 1-0. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger.
I'm Josh Haley, left-handed pitcher from the University of Arizona, and you're listening to Matsu Miner Radio.
The Miners scoring in the first 3 innings for the 27th time this season, thanks to Tyler Bozzetti's RBI double. They now lead the Chinooks 1-0 as we enter the 3rd inning of play. 9-1-2 batters due up for Chugiak. Cole Whitman, Bailey Collins, and J. Paul Fullerton will be the 3 to step to the dish against Josh Haley. So lefty-on-lefty matchup as Cole Whitman, the designated hitter tonight, lines one into right field. That'll be foul. Whitman, a funny story about him is the Chinooks had to rely on one of their pitchers hitting, so they had a contest, and Cole Whitman ended up being the victor as he swings through a second pitch from Josh Haley. He's now down on the count, 0-2. So Whitman in 2 games from the plate, 1 of 6, does have an RBI, but has struck out 4 times and walked once. So he did not have a hit last night as he has a small tapper over to second base. Caleb Van Blake moving to his left and making the throw over in time for out number 1. So that'll bring back up the top of the Chinooks order. Bailey Collins reached on an error back in the 1st inning. Actually made it all the way over to 3rd, but unfortunately the Chinooks left him watching out number 3, as he was the star of last night's show with his walk-off hit to give the Chinooks the 4th win at Lee Jordan Field against the Miners. Haley misses low with the fastball, 1-0. The Miners, however, are 4-0 at home against the Chinooks this year, so they look to get at least 1 win to clinch this season series as Bailey Collins swings through a pitch from Josh Haley, 1-1. A win in this first game would put them ahead in the season series 6-4, with the last game of the series being played in just about 30 minutes after this one. So Haley missing low yet again. The count goes to 2-1. Working from the wind against Bailey Collins. Swings through an off-speed pitch from Josh Haley. Count is now 2-2. Haley only 1 strikeout tonight. today, as this is our first day game in quite a bit. And his 37th strikeout will be on that pitch. Bailey Collins goes down swinging for out number 2 in the top of the 3rd inning.
Just a nice pitch from Josh Haley there. Rose it a little bit high in the strike zone and was able to get Collins to chase it.
It's the 31st time Collins has been set down on strikes this season. Brings up J. Paul Fullerton, who had a sac bunt when he stepped up to the dish in the 1st inning. He'll look at a pitch low and outside for a ball. The left-handed hitting catcher out of UAB, who is now 8 of 32 against the Miners, but he sends one out into right center field. Nick Brooks hustling, won't be able to make the catch. Chugiak-Eagle will get it off the wall. Moving around second and trying to get into 3rd is J. Paul Fullerton. He'll slide in without a throw. So a 2-out triple from J. Paul Fullerton, his 3rd triple of the season, gives the Chinooks some more life here in this 3rd inning.
Well, off the bat, I thought that one was long gone, but Nick Brooks making a nice job running it down and trying to get there in time. Almost made it a close play, but just too far out of his glove.
As unfortunately, that ball traveled right in the middle of Brooks and Quiggle, the center and right fielders, so neither of them able to get to it. And now the Chinooks just have a tying run 90 feet away as Anthony Forte steps to the dish. He looks at a ball outside from Josh Haley, 1-0. Forte grounded to Caleb Van Blake back in the 1st inning for the 2nd out of the inning. He sends a liner deep into center field. Moving back is Chugiak-Eagle. Looking at it, he won't get to it. The Chinooks tie this game up thanks to Anthony Forte's RBI double here in the top of the 3rd inning.
That was a long way for Quiggle to run deep out into left center field, and couldn't really see the ball where it got down, but nice piece of hitting from Forte.
So back-to-back extra base hits for the Chinooks has this game tied up at 1 in the top of the 3rd inning. Both of those hits coming with 2 outs, as that'll call a mound visit for pitching coach Jeff Erlab with his pitcher Haley. And Haley got roughed up in his last start in the 1st inning, but really other than that, did quite well throughout the rest of the game. And against this Chinooks team, he would rather that not happen and get out of this inning with just 1 run given up, as that is the 135th run scored for the Chinooks. They are in the basement of the ABL with that run total. But batting average-wise, they're 2nd at 234, so they find ways to get hits, but unfortunately struggle bringing in runs. That'll bring up Jordan Ward, and he's 0 for 1 today, now 6 of 30 against the Matsu Miners. But runner in scoring position with 2 outs, thanks to Anthony Forte's 6th double of the season and his 21st run driven in, as he is entering 5th in the ABL with that number. So Josh Haley hits the lower portion of the plate with a fastball. He's ahead in the count, 0-1. Working from the stretch, misses low in the dirt. The count goes to 1-1. Josh Haley trying to work out of this tough 3rd inning with just run given up. He misses outside and in the dirt, 2-1. As the Chinooks have been on a tear the past 5 games, batting .291 with 20 runs brought in. So they're starting to turn on late when it matters. This 2-1 pitch is flared out into shallow center field, but Caleb Van Blake runs over to make the catch for out number 3. So the Chinooks, very similar to what the Miners do in the bottom of the 2nd inning, get 2 hits, both doubles, and bring across 1 run to tie this ball game up at 1 as we enter into the home half of the 3rd inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Chugiak-Eagle, outfield infield from Grand Canyon University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Next inning, we've got a razor kick scooter.
We're all squared up at 1 as we enter this 3rd inning of play between the Chinooks and Miners. Mentioned the Chinooks coming into tonight's contest 16-22. Chinooks have been good at home this year, 11-8, but unfortunately, bit of a different story on the road, 5-14. But the Miners are sort of on that same spectrum. Overall, they're 23-15. That's due to their 14-4 dominance at home. But on the road, they're under 500 as well, sitting at 9-11. So really working towards that goal of first place in the ABL, guaranteeing all playoff games be at home as they hold that 2.5 lead over the Bucks, who are in second. In third are the Oilers, who are 4 games back. Pilots are in fourth, 6.5 games back, and the Chinooks are a half game behind them in fifth, 7 games behind the Miners. So Drew Swift for the Miners here in the bottom of the third inning. Miners scoring 1 run last inning, but the Chinooks brought it back with one of their own in the top of the third. Kindrick's first pitch to Drew Swift misses low, 1-0. Swift had an excellent night last night, went 3 for 4 with an RBI, his second RBI in 3 games played, as he looks at another ball outside, 2-0. Shortstop Swifty could be considered Mr. Reliable. He's played in every single ball game this season. He grounds one over to short. Ozuna coming up on it, making the play. But unfortunately, Nick Kreitzer was not able to scoop it up. So Drew Swift reaches on an error, and the Miners have their leadoff man on for the first time today in the bottom of the third inning. Got to be careful with Drew Swift on the base pass. He's second in the ABL with 14 stolen bases. Was, however, caught stealing last night, but sort of had an awkward jump on it. But Caleb Van Blake will step up to the plate from the left side. He's 0 for 1 today. Now 3 of 10 against the Chinooks. So Kindrick will work out of the stretch for the second inning in a row. The lefty comes set from his chest. His first pitch into Caleb Van Blake. That misses inside, 1-0. Van Blake does have 2 RBIs in his past 2 games. So if he can get a solid poke out there, Drew Swift does have the speed to make it around. Kindrick's 1-0 delivery. This one misses and almost hits Van Blake in the right shoulder. So the count goes to 2-0.
Well, it almost seems like Van Blake is due for another hit by pitch in 21 games. It seems like every other game he's getting hit.
That's something else. Talking to him about today, he's just like, I probably will get hit today. As long as I'm getting on base, it doesn't really matter. He sends one in the air to right field. Bailey Collins moves in, makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 down now in the bottom of the third inning. We're all tied up at 1 as Spencer Henson steps up to the plate. He struck out back in the first inning as Kindrick set down all 3 minor batters on strikes. But he's been dangerous against the Chinooks this season. Now 10 of 25, but has driven in 5 runs. Also has hit a home run against the Chinooks team. It came at their place at Lee Jordan Field. But nevertheless, Spencer Henson's hit 6 in total this season. That leads the ABL. They could use it right now to put them ahead of the Chinooks. Kindrick checks over, but Drew Swift, with not a very long lead, gets back in time. Henson batting from the right side. Mentioned that stellar spring campaign. He won the Triple Crown in the Summit League for Oral Roberts and really has just rolled it straight over up into Palmer. He'll take a ball low. The count goes to 1-0. Henson trying to add to that RBI total that currently sits at 28, which is good for first in the ABL. So Kindrick comes set. Now kicks and he'll throw over to first, but Drew Swift, a very safe lead on first base. Sure, getting tips from first base coach Tyler LeBrun. Also getting some help from his dugout, yelling back. So this 1-0 pitch into Henson. He fouls it off into the opposite field. So the count will go to 1-1. So the Miners this season are 10-5 when following a loss, so trying to increase that total to 11-5. Mentioned they've won all 4 games that they played the Chinooks at home this season, so they'd like to add to some of those totals here in this game 1 of the doubleheader. Kindrick checks over to first. Drew Swift back in time. Swifty doesn't seem like he's going to try to steal a bag against Kindrick, who has the nice lefty move, changes his leg motion, whether he goes high or sort of a quick step to the plate. This 1-1 pitch. Henson lines it out into right field. Collins looking back, looking at it. He'll watch it sail over the wall. Spencer Henson with his 7th home run of the season gives the Miners a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the third inning.
Henson just has impressive power. It looked like nothing to him swinging the bat there.
And that was a laser beam over the right field wall. So a home run. Henson keeps his hot season going. Now 30 RBIs this season, 7 home runs, and his 44th hit of the season. The Miners now lead the Chinooks 3-1. That'll bring up Chugiak-Eagle. He'll have to follow that up as he lines one out in the right field himself. It'll take a few hops before Collins is able to retrieve it. And Chugiak-Eagle is on with a 1-out single following Spencer Henson's 2-run home run. So the hit parade is happening right now in Palmer. And Connor, we've seen this a lot when the Miners are at home. They score in bunches.
Well, hitting is contagious. And after Swift gets on base, Henson fouls it up with a home run.
So Nick Brooks will try to keep this train moving along as he steps in from the right side. Kindrick struggling here in this 3rd inning. Brooks looking for his 2nd hit against the Chinooks as he flew out back in the 2nd inning. Chugiak-Eagle stands on first after his single. So Kindrick from the stretch misses high with a fastball, 1-0. The Miners now have brought across 181 runs this season, which is well in front in the ABL in that category. As they keep this success at home going. Mentioned they average 4.7 runs per game, already at 3 through 3 innings played. Kindrick misses low with a fastball. The count goes to 2-0. Now, granted, we're only playing 7 innings, but if you can get 3 runs in 3 innings, technically a run an inning, you're going to be sitting pretty. As the Miners only scored 2 in yesterday's contest against the Chinooks. So Kindrick's 2-0 offering will actually be a check over to first, but Chugiak-Eagle takes a few steps over back in time. Whereas the Chinooks on the road, the ERA hasn't been too nice, sitting at 4.01. And the ERA on the season sits 4th in the ABL at 3.64. As they're trying to pick it up late to try to get that last playoff spot. 2-0 into Brooks is hit hard on the ground over to short. Ozunian to second for 1. The throw back over to first is not handled in time by Kreitzer. So just 1 out. On a fielder's choice, a 6-4 sits down Chugiak-Eagle. But Nick Brooks will be on due to the fielder's choice. So that'll bring up Aaron Walters, who's 0 for 1 today. But Walters, the catcher, on a 4-game hit streak and coming into tonight was 7 of his last 16, driving in 2 runs. So Walters, another one of these Miners that's really just starting to see the ball quite well as we move into the latter half of the season and getting ever so closely to that playoff run. So 2 down, bottom of the 3rd inning. The Miners lead 3-1. First pitch to Aaron Walters. That was definitely a 12-6 curveball. Count goes to 0-1. Mentioned Walters flew out in his first at-bat as Nick Brooks stands on first. Reached on the fielder's choice. Kindrick's 0-1 delivery to Walters. He towers that into the middle part of the field. Shallow right center field, Gregory Ozunian, fighting the sun, makes the catch for out number 3, but not before Spencer Henson with a line drive over the right field wall to give the Miners a 3-1 lead over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Miners lead 3-1 on Matsu Miners Radio.
Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
I'm Josh Haley, left-handed pitcher from the University of Arizona, and you're listening to Matsu Minor Radio.
The Miners bring across 2 runs thanks to the bat of Spencer Henson He had a 2-run home run in the bottom of the third inning. The Miners now lead the Chinooks 3-1 as we enter the fourth inning. Vandover will get things going for the Chinooks. He struck out back in his first at-bat in the second inning, as that is his only second strikeout in his past 5 games. Came in with that high strikeout total of 27. That has been bumped up to 28 as Josh Haley stands on the mound, surrendering his first run back in the third inning. So Vandover hits it back to the fence. The count is now 0-1. So the Miners mentioned have lost their past 3 of 5 games, really trying to get back on a roll and can get 2 wins today in the doubleheader against the Chinooks. Vandover, James Purnell says he went around, so he's now down on the count 0-2. Scott Johnson, the man calling the balls and strikes. James Purnell on the right side of the field, and Silas Drayton will be on the left side of the field. That's your officiating crew for this game 1 of today's doubleheader. Josh Haley missing outside with the fastball. The count goes to 1-2. His 1-2 offering. Vandover bounces it foul to the left side, so he'll stay alive at 1-2. Vandover doing pretty well against the Miners this season, now 10 of 29 after the strikeout. So anytime you can see the ball pretty well against a certain ball club, you're going to be confident stepping up to the dish. Haley kicks and deals a 1-2 breaking ball that nails the outside corner for strike number 3. Josh Haley now 2 strikeouts. Both have been surrendered at the hands of Luke Vandover.
And Vandover, he knew that as soon as the curveball broke in, that it was going to be called a strike.
So the first out of the fourth inning is a Luke Vandover strikeout, his 29th of the season, as Nick Kreitzer steps to the dish from the left side. He sends one out into shallow center field. Chugiak-Eagle runs in and makes the basket grab for out number 2. Kreitzer now 1 for 2 on the day, as that brings up Gregory Ozuna. Josh Haley trying to retire the Chinooks in order for the first time today. Ozuna is 0 for 1 today in his first at-bat, grounded out to the third baseman Tyler Bozetti, as Ozuna leads the lead in strikeouts with 37, but has only had 1 in his past 4 games. He looks at a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 2 down, top of the fourth. Miners lead 3-1. Haley working quickly. A wonderful off speed as Ozuna almost falling over. He was so far in front of that one. He's fallen behind, 0-2. So Haley's 0-2 pitch yet again gets Ozuna swinging out of his shoes in front of it. So Josh Haley setting down the side for the first time today in the top of the fourth inning to hold a 3-1 Mat-Su Miners lead over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks on Mat-Su Miners Radio. Mat-Su Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Mat-Su Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
I'm Josh Haley.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Mat-Su Miners Radio.
One of 2 Josh's starting day for the Miners will lead things off for Mat-Su. That is Josh Hatcher, the left fielder today for the Miners. He did have a hit back in the second inning, which he ended up coming around to score the game's first run. So Hatcher batting from the left side will have a lefty-on-lefty matchup to begin the bottom half of this fourth inning. Hatcher now 6 hits in his past 21 at-bats, seeing the ball very well, and has also had a hit in his past 4 out of 5 games played. So Larson Kindrick still on the bump for the Chinooks. His first pitch misses low and away to Hatcher, 1-0. And all of that scoring in the second inning came on 2 outs. as the Miners have scored in back-to-back innings. So Kindrick misses low. The count is now 1-1. The Miners have scored 3 runs on 5 hits, where the Chinooks have only scored 1 run on 3 hits. So Kindrick's 2-0 offering into Hatcher has him bouncing it foul. The count goes 2-1. Hatcher out of Mississippi State was a draftee out of high school by the Los Angeles Dodgers, or Angels rather, and elected to go the college route. So he looks at a ball from Larson Kindrick, high and away. The count is now 3-1.
It's always a great honor to be drafted no matter what round you are in, and I guess that opens up the door for a future draft pick.
3-1 to Hatcher. This one hits the upper portion of the zone. Kindrick has worked the count full. 3-2 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kindrick's pitch, that misses high, so Josh Hatcher will take his base. That's his 6th walk drawn of the season. First walk, actually, of this ball game. That is Larson Kindrick's 17th walk issued this year. So Tyler Bozzetti will step to the dish. He has an RBI today, his 13th of the season. Now has 4 against the Chinooks as he steps in from the right side. With nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Josh Hatcher on first. That'll move the middle infield in for the Chinooks. So Kindrick working out of the stretch for the 3rd straight inning. Misses high with a fastball, and J. Paul Fullerton want to take some time to talk with the pitcher. With this break, we'd like to thank Fred Meyer, as they are the sponsor of today's doubleheader here at Herman Brothers Field, providing some wonderful prizes if you're at the ballpark, and always very kind in their donations to the Matsu Miners. So a big thanks to Fred Meyer. 1-0 is the count with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Miners lead the Chinooks 3-1 in this first game of today's doubleheader. Kindrick's 1-0 offering into Bozzetti. This misses high, 2-0. As it's a hot one today, 70 degrees and sunny here in Palmer, Alaska, as Pioneer Peak is definitely in full sight beyond left field. So Kindrick, who's behind the count to Bozzetti, fires in. He misses high again with the fastball. He's down on the count 3-0. So back-to-back hitters. Kindrick has fallen behind and eluded 3 balls to. So interesting to see what Bozzetti decides to do on this pitch. Kindrick's 3-0. Nails the lower portion of the plate. So 3-1. Bozzetti out of the University of Nevada, Reno had to make the transition to third base this summer due to Drew Swift's excellent defensive status, where Bozzetti normally plays shortstop back at school. 3-1 into Bozzetti. That misses high, so the Miners have drawn back-to-back walks to begin this bottom of the 4th inning. So Bozzetti with his 16th walk drawn this year, and Kindrick has now walked 2 in a row. That'll bring up Connor Denning, the switch-hitting designated hitter, batting from the left side today, or the right side against the lefty, Larson Kindrick, as there is some development going on in the Chinooks bullpen. As that'll bring up the pitching coach for the Chinooks, as the Miners lead the Chinooks 3-1 with runners on first and second.
And it's a good sign to see the Miners taking their walk, something that they really haven't done all of the entire season, but just relaxing in at the plate, seeing good pitches, and letting the bad ones go by.
They really are. As the Miners, this is normally not their game plan, only 130 walks on the season. They sit 4th in that category, and actually, we're going to see a pitching change. We'll introduce the new pitcher for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks, and we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. The Miners leading 3-1. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hi guys, Drew Swift, infielder from Arizona State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
New pitcher for the Chinooks is 55, Sam Brace. The southpaw has appeared in 12 games this season. 4 of them have been starts, and in 39 1/3 innings pitched has a 2.05 ERA with a 1-3 record. Brace is in the tops of the ABL in strikeouts with 38, and he's only walked 15 batters. This will be his 4th time seeing Matsu this season as he comes on in a tough situation. Runners on first and second with nobody out. The Miners currently leading this ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning, 3-1. So Connor Denning will step back in, still batting from the right side. So facing another lefty. So Brace nails the inside part of the plate, 0-1. Corners moving in for the Chinooks. And Denning today is 0 for 1 as he flew out to the right fielder Collins in his first at-bat. So Brace, who has mainly made his name known as a starter, going to come in for some long relief today. He misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. Denning only 1 hit against the Chinooks. 1 hit and now 7 at-bats, but a great opportunity to throw one out there right now. So Brace from his chest. His 1-1 pitch. This one line just over the head of Van Dover. That'll head into right center field. Around third trying to score is Josh Hatcher. He will, as the throw will be into second base. And Connor Denning delivers for his 3rd RBI of the season to extend this Matsu Miners lead over the Chinooks 4-1. Wonderful hitting there from Connor Denning. He took the inside pitch and just shot it the other way as Josh Hatcher comes in to score. And that actually moves Tyler Bozetti all the way over to third base. So Drew Swift will now step to the dish. So he keeps his hot hitting going with a hit back in the 3rd inning.
And it really is good to see from Connor Denning, the RBI sparking his offense just a little bit here in the end of the season.
So Brace will check Denning. And has been heard that Connor Denning's significant other is in the stands today. So maybe a little extra motivation to play well today. So Drew Swift standing in from the right side had that hit back in the 3rd inning. He came around to score the game's 2nd run off Spencer Henson's 2-run home run. As he fouls this one back, the count goes to 0-1. So Drew Swift now with a hit in his past 4 out of 5 games played. Now just 4 hits in the past 2 days. Obviously both coming against the Chinooks. Runners on the corner, still nobody out here in the 4th. Brace's 0-1 pitch nails the upper part of the zone, 0-2. So Drew Swift down on the count. He's been victim of strikeout 23 times this season, but looks to throw something in play to possibly drive in another run. So Brace, after originally checking off Fullerton, now comes set. He'll check down to first, but Denning, not a big lead. Not a lot of big leads from this Miners team against the left-handers from the Chinooks. As this pitching of Chugiak's been good in the past 5 games with a 2.66 ERA, but struggling right now against the Miners. Brace is 0-2. Swung on and missed by Drew Swift. So Sam Brace finally delivers the first out of this inning with a strikeout from Drew Swift. As there still is a big threat for Matsu. They have runners on the corners. Only 1 out for Caleb Van Blake. So a lefty-on-lefty matchup will now ensue. As that runner on third is still Larson Kindrick's responsibilities. So whether we have the 3rd out of this inning or that run scores, we'll give you Kindrick's final stat line. As Sam Brace nails the zone with a strike. Can't tell you, Kindrick threw 55 pitches today in 3 innings of work. So Brace now ahead in the count 0-1. Brace was an all-star this season. Was actually a part of the Chinook squad that was a part of the Miners team. Fortunately, they took the loss in the all-star game, but it was an exhibition game and everyone was en route to have fun. Right now, the Miners leading 4-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Sam Brace's 0-1 pitch. Looked at for a ball. Nice stop by Fullerton, but Connor Denning was all over it. He'll slide in safely to second base. Off An excellent read there by Connor Denning. So now runners on second and third, only one out. A great position for the Miners to really open this ball game up in the bottom of the fourth inning as the infield comes in for Chugiak. Sam Brace looking in. Caleb Van Blake at the dish. He's brought across 12 runs. His 1-1 pitch from Brace. This one on the ground to first. Kreitzer checks off the runner at third and will touch first for out number 2. So the threat slightly diminished with that out. But coming to the plate now is one of the most feared batters in the ABL, and Spencer Henson, coming off his 2-run home run over the right field wall, which was really a laser beam. Barely just cleared at 322 as it got every bit of it. So
and it just shows you how much power really Spencer Henson has. The line drive right out.
So 2 down, bottom of the fourth inning. Denning on second, Bozetti on third. The Miners have already scored 1, but they look for more. First pitch into Henson. He lines this one out into right center field. That's going to one-hop the wall. Coming in to score is Tyler Bozetti. Connor Denning around third. He'll score as well. Spencer Henson flying into second base. Delivers in back-to-back at-bats. The Miners now have extended this lead greatly over the Chinooks. They lead 6-1. Spencer Henson, man, oh man, does he deliver yet again.
Every single day when Spencer Henson sees runners on base, you can almost count them in already. Henson just tremendous at the plate.
Henson, 4 RBIs and 2 extra base hits today. That's his 11th double. So Henson really seeing the ball well against this Chinook staff. So Sam Brace delivers a strike into Chugiak-Eagle. So Larson Kindrick now, his final stat line is he allowed 5 runs and on 2 walks and struck out 3 off 5 hits in 3 innings of work. So Sam Brace, those past the 1 run was allowed to him as Henson now stands on second. Chugiak-Eagle swinging through another pitch. He's down on the count 0-2 with 2 down in the bottom of the fourth inning. So Sam Brace from his chest is 0-2 to Eagle. He hits a little dribbler over to second base, moving over to his left and coming in is Vandover. The underhand toss is just barely in time. Got Eagle by a half of a step for out number 3, but not before the Matsu Miners open the door on this ball game. They've scored 3 in the bottom of the fourth. Now lead the Chinooks 6-1 on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
The Alaska Railroad and Operation Lifesaver would like to remind our friends and neighbors when approaching a railroad crossing, always expect a train. Look, listen, live.
I'm Josh Haley, left-handed pitcher from the University of Arizona, and you're listening to Matsu Miner Radio.
The Miners really looking to avenge last night's walk-off loss as they just put 3 more runs on the scoreboard in the bottom of the fourth inning to give themselves a 6-1 lead over the Chinooks. So Bollinger, Whitman, and Collins will try to bring back some of the runs that they just allowed in last inning. As the Chinooks scoring that 1 lone run back in the third inning, the Miners doing all their scoring in the second, third, and fourth innings. As Bollinger rips one into right field, that'll be a base hit. He's on for the first time today. That's only the 5th hit surrendered by Josh Haley today. Rather, 4th hit as it brings up Cole Whitman, the designated hitter. The pitcher made batter now as he grounded out in his first at-bat, but has a runner on first. So Josh Haley will work out of the stretch for the 4th time tonight. His first pitch into Whitman is in for a strike, 0-1. Moving to sort of the middle part of this ball game. We're only playing 7 because of the doubleheader rules. So the Miners trying to clinch this season series as they currently lead 6-1, and Josh Haley's ahead in the count on Cole Whitman 0-2. who just swung at a breaking pitch. Season series currently sits 5-4. Chinooks have won the last 2, but the Miners just need to win this game, clinch the series. Another base hit into right field in between that first and second base gap. So the Chinooks, after surrendering 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, have started this 5th inning with back-to-back base hits. And Connor, that is sort of the Chinooks game plan. With that high average, they don't have a lot of extra base hits. They just throw little liners here and there for base hits.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with the average, if you build a team around people like that, you know, every now and then, 3 out of 10 times, you're just going to get that base hit. And, you know, the Chinooks, that's how they chip away at teams.
As Bailey Collins' first pitch swinging against Josh Haley, he hits it foul behind him, 0-1. Bollinger on second, Whitman on first, as the Chinooks are trailing by 5 in this 5th inning. Haley's 0-1 pitch misses high and in. Count goes to 1-1. So no one up in the Miners' pen, as they're expecting, I would imagine, 5, if not 6 innings, maybe even a complete game from Josh Haley. As this one, another line drive into right field. Nick Brooks will yet again play it off the hop. 3 straight base hits have loaded the bases with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. So it started off with Bollinger, then Whitman, and Bailey Collins follows suit with another hit, his 7th against the Miners, 38th hit on the season. That'll bring up J. Paul Fullerton, who had a triple back in the 3rd inning. He ended up coming around to score the Chinooks lone run, as Jeff Erlab will take a slow walk on the mound to talk to Josh Haley, as he has yet to find an out here in the 5th inning. Mentioned the Miners are 10-5 in bounce-back games coming off losses, and have only won 2 games in their past 5, where the Chinooks, they've won 4 out of the last 6 and have won 2 in a row. Chinooks, not surprising that the bats are coming out in this game, as of recent, batting .291 and 20 runs in their past 5 games. So meeting adjourned, as the bases are full for J. Paul Fullerton. 10 RBIs this season. 5 of them have come against the Miners. So he has a chance to really help bring back the Chinooks after giving up 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Score sits at 6-1. Miners atop. So Haley comes set. The corners are in for the Miners, and middle infield playing double play depth. First pitch misses low. I would have to imagine if it goes to the middle infield, they're going to look for the double play and surrender a run. As this 1-0 pitch nails the lower inside part of the plate to the left-handed hitting Fullerton. Count is now 1-1. So Josh Haley trying to get out of this jam. He comes set from his torso. A breaking ball that's tapped foul, 1-2. Haley looking for a big strikeout here, because if so, that would allow for a double play to end the inning for the next batter. But he'll need one more strike against J. Paul Fullerton, who struck out 26 times this season. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses low and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. Bases are full for J. Paul Fullerton. Haley's 2-2. This one sent out into right field. Moving back is Nick Brooks all the way to the wall and gone. J. Paul Fullerton brings the Chinooks within 1 with 1 swing of the bat. A grand slam in the top of the 5th inning. What a way and time to hit your first home run. And that is going to be a tough one to shake off for Josh Haley, who came in 5th in ERA in the ABL with a 1.84. But now the Chinooks only trail by 1 in the 5th inning, 6-5. That was an absolute blast, as Nick Brooks was en route, but really nothing he could do about it.
Just a big hit from J. Paul Fullerton, and like you said, a great time to get his first RBI or first home run, and for it to be a grand slam.
14 RBIs on the season for Fullerton, 9 of them now coming against the Miners. Must be something about that green he likes, as that was his 2nd hit today, as Anthony Forte will try to follow that performance up. He looks at a ball, 1-0. Next pitch is a strike, says Scott Johnston. Said Forte went around, so the count moves to 1-1. Score is now 6-5 here in the top of the 5th inning, as Forte lines one out into right center field. Josh Hatcher quickly moves over to make the catch for the first out of the 5th inning. So it looked like the Miners were sort of going to start pulling away in this ball game in the bottom of the fourth with 3 runs scored to give them a 5-run lead. But J. Paul Fullerton brings it right back with a swing of the bat following 3 straight singles.
It almost seems like it's something different every day against the Chinooks and between the Miners.
So the first pitch into Jordan Wharton is a changeup that has him swinging through 0-1. So that has caused some warm-up in the Miners' pen. Looks like right-hander Denver McQuarrie is warming up. As there's a lefty up in the Chinooks' pen. This one shot down the left field line, but foul by Wharton. He's now down on the count 0-2. Wharton is 0 for 2 today. Now 6 of 31 against the Miners. As Haley's 0-2 pitch. A fastball that misses low 1-2 with 1 out. So Haley will still look to get out of this inning with a lead intact. As he winds and deals. This 1-2 is fouled off to the left side. The count stays at 1-2. Chinooks trying to tie this season series up at 5. They've won the past 2, looking for a 3rd in a row. But those past 2 coming on the road, so they're trying to get their first win here at Herman Brothers Field. Haley misses away with a fastball, 2-2. 1 down in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody aboard after J. Paul Fullerton cleared the bases with a grand slam. But Haley's got a 2-2 count and swings through high cheddars Jordan Wharton. First strike number 3 and out number 2. So back-to-back outs now recorded for Josh Haley as he has 4 strikeouts today, giving him a total of 39 now on the year. That would be tied for second with the Oilers' Tevin Murray if everything stands after today. So that brings up Luke Vandover. He's came up to the plate twice and struck out twice against Josh Haley, looking to end this long 5th inning where the Chinooks have already poured in 4 runs. Vandover fouls this one off. The count goes to 0-1. Vandover, it's surprising, was seeing the ball well against the Miners. 10 of 28 coming into today, but now 10 of 30. As the second pitch into Vandover is a ball, the count has moved to 1-1. Haley working from the wind. His next pitch misses away. He's fallen behind 2-1. So Vandover now 3 strikeouts in his past 5 games. Now up to a total of 29. Haley's 2-1. This one a 2-hopper over to Drew Swift. The shortstop makes the play for out number 3. But not before the Chinooks get 4 runs thanks to the bat of J. Paul Fullerton. Hits his first home run, and it's a grand slam. So we got ourselves a ball game, folks, as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Chinooks 5, Miners 6 on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Caleb Van Blake, infielder from UC Davis, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Winter, the home half of the 5th inning in a pretty tight ball game. Miners just ahead of the Chinooks 6-5, as they'll see a new pitcher yet again, number 29 left-handed thrower Michael Barker. This will be his 10th appearance of the season, has 6 starts to his name, and 33 1/3 innings pitched, has a 6.21 ERA and a 4-3 record. The southpaw out of Vanguard University. This is the first time he'll be facing Matsu, as Brooks, Walters, and Hatcher are due up for the Miners. This is the second time today that Nick Brooks will be leading off an inning. Last time he did so was in his first at-bat. He flew out and then reached on a fielder's choice back in the third inning. First pitch from Barker misses inside, 1-0. So Barker has not had the greatest summer, has allowed 4 or more runs in 3 appearances this season. So he winds and deals. Brooks hits this one in the air over to the right side and foul ground, and Kreitzer tries to make the catch near the fence, but the ball will drop just beyond his leather. So the count goes to 1-1. And Barker, in his last appearance, was on July 19th against the Violets. He was the winning pitcher in 2 innings of work, allowed 1 run, which was earned, no hits and 2 walks with 1 strikeout. So the Miners normally seeing a lot of familiar faces against the Chinooks, but they're going to throw a new one at them as the Chinooks trying to tie the season series up at 5. 1-1 pitch to Nick Brooks is a fastball that misses around the ankles, 2-1. Brooksy out of Gonzaga, just recently graduated there, as his 6-game hit streak was broke last night, going 0 for 4. He fouls this one back behind him and actually falls down on that swing. Seems like just lost his footing, that is, as he'll step back in the box. 2-2 count with nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Chinooks scoring 4 in the top half of this inning to bring this game within 1.
Brooks has taken 2 hefty cuts there. One, obviously just lost his balance and trying to do a lot with 1 swing.
So the left-hander Barker, his 2-2 offering. Brooks, a chopper over to short. Ozuna charging in. His throw over to first is in time, and Kreitzer picks this one out for out number 1. So Kreitzer has been struggling today, trying to make the scoop, but does it right there for the first out. So Sam Brace was the man Barker replaced. Brace goes an inning, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned, did not walk anyone, and also struck out 1 as well. So Aaron Walters will step up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, now 3 of 21 against the Chinooks. We're going to keep bringing left-handed relievers against a left-handed heavy Matsu Miners lineup. Carter's first pitch to Walters misses outside for a ball, 1-0. So Walters last night drew his first walk since June 26th, which is pretty rare for a guy that has a .319 on base percentage. Nevertheless, he looks at another ball, 2-0, so he's only 2 away from yet another walk today. From the line, Carter offers, and Walters lines one over the head of first baseman Nick Kreitzer. That'll be down the right field line before Collins can get to it, and Walters, putting on the brakes, actually fell into the dirt and will get back to first safely, but lost his footing. So a 1-out single for Aaron Walters, his first hit of the day, will extend his hit streak to 5.
A good line drive off the bat from Walters and just dumped it out into right field.
So the man that got the last inning going for the Miners, where they scored 3, is Josh Hatcher. Reached on a walk in his last at-bat. Now steps in with a runner on first. So Barker will work from the stretch. His first pitch. This nails the lower portion of the zone. 0-1. So Hatch is 1 for 1 today. Had a hit back in the 2nd inning and then reached on that walk back in the 4th. The Miners trying to extend this 6-5 lead. Second pitch to Hatcher almost hits him as he moves out of the way of it. Aaron Walters will go down to second as this ball goes all the way back to the fence. And now the Miners have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. So Josh Hatcher trying to deliver his 5th RBI of the season. He does not have an RBI yet this season against the Chinooks. So Barker coming in and sort of struggling, but he's done so a lot this season, so the Miners really trying to obliterate that. 1-1's the count with 1 out in the 5th inning. Barker from his chest, his pitch. This one is fouled off over to the left side, so Hatcher down in the count 1-2. The Miners not striking out a lot this season. They're 5th in that category, entering this game at .223, but have struck out 4 times today, so that has increased to .227. Big hitting team, our first in average, coming in on a tear of .281 batting average. So Barker's 1-2. This one misses inside with the breaking ball. The count goes to 2-2. As they've exceeded their run average here at Herman Brothers Field today. Which normally sits at 4.7, but they've scored 6. However, that is only good enough for a 1-run lead over the Chinooks. So Barker from his chest, peeks at second, now motions to the plate. He'll miss inside with a fastball. Count goes to full with 1 out. So Josh Hatcher, who worked a full count in his last at-bat, drew a walk out of it. Looks to do a similar thing here, if not get a hit. Walters does have good speed on second, so anything poked in the outfield has a chance of bringing across another run. Full count pitch. Hatcher swings through for strike number 3. So that's the first strikeout for Michael Barker. Barker on the season now has 29 strikeouts, as he has walked 26 as well. As that'll bring up Tyler Bozetti with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bozetti also reaching twice as well, double back in the second, and a walk in the 4th. So a lefty on righty matchup for Michael Barker. The second time he'll see a lefty on righty. Bozetti trying to rekindle a hitting streak, which he did back in the second inning, but would like to add to his recent success as he looks at a ball 1-0. Bozetti during that 11-game hit streak batted .342 with 6 RBIs and also had 2 home runs, one of which came against this Chinooks ball club. So Barker's 1-0 into Bozetti, misses low in the dirt, 2-0. Bozetti now 4 of 23 against the Chinooks, has brought across 4 runs. So Walter stands on second after getting a single a few batters ago and then advanced on a pass ball with 2 outs. This 2-0 is a hot shot over to third base, but Wharton scoops it and his throw to first in time for out number 3. So the Miners do get a hit in the 5th, but they leave him stranded, and the score will stay 6-5 as we head into the 6th inning on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey, I'm Tyler Bassetti. I'm from Nevada, Reno, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Baseball.
So the Miners will come in with relief to start this 6th inning at the hands of right-hander Denver McQuarrie out of Mississippi State. He comes into relief. Josh Haley, who gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, all of them being earned. Haley did not surrender a walk today and struck out 4, so his day is over for Josh Haley. He is still in line for a win today as the Miners still hold a 6-5 lead as we enter the 6th inning. So McQuarrie this season has had 4 appearances and has started 2 of them as well, gone 8 2/3 with 7 strikeouts and 7 walks. So Denver, this is a bit of a redemption outing. His last outing came against the Chinooks team on the road where he only went 1 1/3 innings pitched. He was the starter in that outing. Gave up 5 runs, all of them being earned on 7 hits and 1 walk and 1 strikeout and 12 batters faced. So McQuarrie will face Kreitzer, Ozuna, and Bollinger to begin this 6th inning. So Kreitzer today is 1 for 2, now 4 hits against the Matsu Miners, sits at a 4-in-25 span. So he'll be facing McQuarrie, who came on later from Mississippi State, who made it to the College World Series with his Mississippi State teammate Josh Hatcher, who's playing left field. McQuarrie has gone no longer than 3 1/3 innings pitched this year. So when he does start, or his starts were short-lived, but looking to make a big relief appearance at home today for the Miners, as they have an at-home ERA of 2.20, which will be rose a little bit. But however, if you can get a win, it doesn't really matter what the run count is. So Kreitzer steps in from the left side, a righty on lefty matchup. McQuarrie will see for the first time. The past 5 games, the Miners pitching has been a bit little lackluster. 3.84 ERA, as it's shown today, giving up those 5 runs. So Kreitzer will tap home plate and get ready to roll in this 6th inning. It's the penultimate inning, as we're only playing 7 in the first game of this doubleheader. Kreitzer lines one into center field. Chugiak-Eagle will play it off the hop. And just as we saw last inning, the Chinooks get things going with a base hit. So McQuarrie will have to work out of the stretch as he faces Gregory Ozuna, the shortstop. He's 0 for 2 today, striking out back in the 4th inning for his 38th strikeout on the season. So Ozuna, the right-handed hitter, as it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner entering the ball game for Nick Kreitzer. Number 31, Thomas Harper, out of Savannah State University, does have 1 stolen base on the year, and the Chinooks, as we're late in this ball game, only down 1, really trying to possibly, if they can get in that tying run, if at all possible, they will. So Ozuna steps to the dish. Mentioned 0 for 2 today, but this will be the first time he'll be facing McQuarrie. He comes set from his chest. His first pitch, Ozuna looking to bunt, but bunts it right into his feet, so he'll go down the count 0-1.
It was a good breaking ball from McQuarrie just to get that bunt to then go down.
So the Miners trying to go 5-0 today against the Chinooks as they hold a lead. At home, that is, and clinch the season series. So McQuarrie's yet again comes set. His 0-1 offering. Ozuna yet again looking to bunt. Now bunts it foul. He's down on the count 0-2. So many times this season, we've seen Connor, guys try to sack bunt, but they just bunt it foul and go down on the count 0-2. Does not make your coach happy at all.
Does make the coach happy, but it does make the pitching coach happy. You know, Denver McQuarrie being a nice job locating his off-speed pitches, pitching inside, and doing a nice job of it.
So he's ahead in the count 0-2. Are you looking for his 8th strikeout of the season in just 5 appearances? He comes set, kicks and deals. Ozuna swings through a breaking ball for his 2nd strikeout of the day. And Denver McQuarrie gets the first out of the 6th inning with his first strikeout. So Ozuna now striking out 39 times this season. That's going to bring up Seth Bollinger with 1 down. We mentioned had a base hit back in the 5th inning. Did come around to score on the grand slam. So tying run at first. Go-ahead run at the dish here in the top of the 6th inning. Only playing 7, ladies and gentlemen, so it's getting down to crunch time. McQuarrie from the stretch, his first pitch to Bollinger. That misses low. Walters has trouble handling it. It'll go to the backstop. Advancing all the way to second will be Thomas Harper on the passed ball. So now a runner in scoring position with just 1 out for the Chinooks. So in a way, it worked out for Chugiak. They wanted the sack bunt, didn't work out, but after Ozuna got out, the first pitch is the passed ball, so there Harper is standing on second.
Well, I mean, everything goes the same way. If it was a sack bunt, there'd be 1 out, runner moved over. Now it's a pass ball with 1 out.
So Bollinger, 1 for 2 today, is now 9 of 22 against the Miners. Does have 5 RBIs against Matsu out of his 8 total, and has really been on a tear of late. 3 hits in his past 3 games after a 6-game hitless streak. So with a runner on second, McQuarrie's 1-0 pitch. Misses low with the fastball, 2-0. McQuarrie, that sort of is his Achilles heel, is the falling behind in accounts early. Has only 8 strikeouts to 7 walks this year. So he's working out of the stretch as we sit in 2-0 count. McQuarrie looks in. His pitch. This misses yet again outside with the fastball. He's now down in the count 3-0. So Bollinger trying to reach in back-to-back at-bats, which are coming in back-to-back innings. The Miners do lead the ABL in walks. now with 150. So on second is Thomas Harper. And at the dish is Seth Ballinger. McQuarrie tries to offer his first strike. He will not. Misses outside, and Ballinger will take his base. It's the first time the Chinooks have drawn a walk today. So 150 walks now issued by the Miners, as Ben Taylor now will come to the mound, and Denver McQuarrie's day is very short-lived. Coming into the game is Noah Cordova. We'll introduce him after a quick break on Matsu Miners Radio. The Miners lead 6-5 with one down in the top of the sixth inning. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Aaron Walters from Texas A&M University. I'm a catcher, infielder, and you're listening to Matt.
So after the short stint from Denver McQuarrie, Noah Cordova is on in relief. The right-hander out of Chandler Gilbert Community College and the Cal State Bakersfield signee. So McQuarrie goes a third of an innings pitch, gave up a hit, a walk, and also struck out one for his lone out recorded here in the top of the sixth inning. So Cordova's job is to hold this one-run lead for the Miners. They currently sit atop 6-5. Cordova this season, in 12 appearances, he started in his first one, gone 18 2/3 innings pitched, a 2.41 ERA, and is 1-1 on the season with 9 strikeouts and 9 walks as well. His last appearance came last night against the Chinooks, where he went 2/3, gave up a run, which was earned off one hit. So on the season in total, he's seen the Chinooks 3 times, and in 3 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 1 run. That was a earned run as well on 2 hits. So Noah Cordova looking to get 2 outs to end the top half of the sixth inning to try to secure this Matsu Miners lead. So Cole Whitman will step in, the pitcher, newfound batter. Got a base hit, his second hit now in 8 at-bats back in the 5th inning. Obviously came around to score as Thomas Harper stands on second, the pinch runner for Nick Kreitzer. So Cordova working from the stretch. His first pitch nails the outside part of the plate to the left-handed hitting Cole Whitman. And standing on first is Seth Ballinger. Reached on a walk. The last batter that Denver McQuarrie faced. No, nothing going on in the Chinooks pen. Though the 0-1 pitch was tried to bunt by Whitman. It was sort of a half-hearted attempt. And the count goes to 0-2. So 0-2 with 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Cordova looking for his 10th strikeout. After takes a peek at second, motion to the plate. He'll get it with Cole Whitman swinging through for out number 2. So a big strikeout there from Noah Cordova to tamper the damage going on right now in this 6th inning. As there is 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The Miners still lead 6-5.
Well, just huge from Noah Cordova coming into this game, throwing strikes, pounding the strike zone, and getting Cole Whitman to strike out. And again, he was a pitcher converted into DH, so he hasn't had a lot of experience at the plate so far in the season, but a big strikeout nonetheless.
So the first pitch to Bailey Collins misses high 1-0. Collins reached twice today, reached on a single back in the 5th inning for his 7th hit against the Miners, as he had his first RBI in 18 days last night and a chance to do it with runners on first and second in the top of the 6th. Cordova's 1-0. This one shot in the air to left center field. Chugiak-Eagle moving over. He'll look at it. Can of corn for out number 3. So Noah Cordova works out of a slight jam here in the 6th inning to hold a 6-5 Matsu Miner lead over the Chinooks. We'll have the Miners bats for you when we come back on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
Fight against hunger at Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's Josh Hatcher here, infield outfield from Mississippi State University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
Welcome back into the bottom of the sixth inning, where the Miners lead the Chinooks 6-5. Connor Denning will step up to the dish to begin this sixth inning. Denning, 1 for 2 today, had the RBI single in his last at-bat as he fouls this one straight back, 0-1. So still on the mound for the Chinooks is Michael Barker, who nails the strike zone. He's now heading the count to Denning, 0-2. That was Denning's first RBI against the Chinooks in that last at-bat. So the 0-2 pitch, this one misses high, 1-2. So the Miners this season are 6-6 in doubleheaders, so they look to break above 500 in that category. Where the Chinooks, they're struggling when they play 2-6 on days they play doubleheaders. As Denning fouls this one straight back to the cage, he stays alive at 1-2. So a high-scoring game, 11 total runs and 15 total hits. This 1-2 pitch has Denning swinging out in front of it for out number 1. So Michael Barker records his second strikeout today. That'll bring up Drew Swift. He's 1 for 2 today with the base hit back in the third inning. The Arizona State Sun Devil, definitely reliable this year. And also teammates with Miners outfielder Braden Merritt. He steps in the sixth inning. So missing high and his hat flying off with Michael Barker for a ball, 1-0. Miners lead late 6-5 as we're only playing 7 games in today's doubleheader, trying to break the Chinooks' little win streak of 2. This 1-0 pitch misses high. The count goes to 2-0. The Miners are trying to go 11-5 after coming off a loss. So Barker, who works from the wind, his 2-0 pitch. This one misses high and away. So Drew Swift is work a 3-0 count with 1 down here in the bottom of the sixth inning, trying to get his 10th walk on the season. Barker's 3-0 pitch. This barely hits the lower portion of the plate. The count goes to 3-1.
And for the Miners, they really need to take the pressure off of their pitcher in the top of the 7th, so they need to score some runs here to do so.
Barker's 3-1 pitch. Swift takes it as it was high and outside for a strike. So a full count now after Michael Barker falls behind 3-0. So the Miners leading 6-5, but would still like to add a bit more cushion, as it seems like their right-handed closer Bryce Tossan is up in the pen. Barker from the wind, his payoff pitch. That misses high, so Drew Swift will be aboard thanks to a walk here in the sixth inning. So the Miners now have had a base runner in every single inning besides the first. So excellent job of getting on base for the Miners as they do lead in that category, sitting at a percentage of .343. So Caleb Van Blake steps up from the left side. He is 0 for 3 tonight. But with the runner on first, looks to get things going and possibly add to this 6-5 lead. Barker from the stretch. Caleb Van Blake all over that one into right center field. Drew Swift zooming around second. Caleb Van Blake will come into second as well. He tries to get away from a tag as he does. So Caleb Van Blake, a one-out double, puts runners on second and third for the Mat-Su Miners.
Just a great piece of hitting from Caleb Van Blake. And for Van Blake, hustling out of the box, the throw beat him to second, but he was able to dance around the tag, which made it even better.
Van Blake's sixth double gives him now a hit in his past 13 of 14 games played. And you can feel the field heating up as the hot man today, Spencer Henson, steps to the dish from the right side. He is 2 for 3 today, 4 RBIs, a home run, and a double. So the infield comes in for the Chinooks with just one out here in the top of the sixth. Henson looking to add to this lead. His first pitch is well over Fullerton's head. Drew Swift will come in standing for the 7th run of the ball game for the Miners. They now lead the Chinooks 7-5. And that's just a mistake that you cannot have in such a tight ball game in these latter innings.
No, that's not really what you want to see, especially with Henson at the plate. You just give away a run.
So that brings up Caleb Van Blake over to third as they're going to intentionally walk Spencer Henson now. So just need 3 more pitches as that first pitch missed high with the ball. And not very happy is the Miners faithful who is coming out very strong today. Pretty much a packed house as we'll still have another game yet to be played. So the count does sit 3-0, but Henson will just be standing in there just in case this pitch misses away, and he'll be on board thanks to an intentional walk. Been a very common move, Connor, when there's runners in scoring position to walk Henson.
Yeah, especially with a base open or 2 bases in this case. You don't want to let the best hitter in the Miners lineup beat you, and that's Henson. So you're going to see his walk total kind of creep up near the end of the season.
And now they'll have to pitch to a pretty good hitter as well in Chugiak-Eagle. He's 1 for 3 today. Came in 4th in batting average at .313. The Miners do lead 7-5. Drew Swift has already came in to score for the Miners in the bottom of the 6th. There is one out and runners on the corners. Barker's first pitch to Quiggle. He'll look at it for a strike, 0-1. So the Miners now, this is their 24th game that they've scored in the final 3 innings played. That includes the doubleheaders that go 7 innings, and they've won 16 times when doing so. Second pitch to Quiggle. This one hits the outside corner, 0-2. Left-handed Quiggle, 11 hits now against the Chinooks. Does have an RBI, and 18 on the season. So an excellent chance for one more with the runners on the corners. But Barker's 2-0 delivery. A big bender that just drops in a little late. So the count goes to 1-2. He's in disbelief. But Chugiak-Eagle will stay alive from the left side of the dish.
And it's not where the ball is caught by the catcher. It's where it crosses the plate. And where it crossed the plate was high and in.
1-2 from Barker. Chugiak-Eagle swings at it. It fouls right off the catching mask of J. Paul Fullerton. So he'll stay alive at 1-2. Kona wearing the red batting gloves that we normally see him wear in batting practice, but deciding to wear them for the game today. I have to question Kona about that after the game and wonder the reason why. He looks for his second hit today, but he's down on the count 1-2. Barker's 1-2 pitch. Chugiak-Eagle swinging at it, sends it out into right field. Moving back is Ballinger and making the catch at the wall for out number 2. It is a sacrifice fly, so Caleb Van Blake will come in to score, and the Miners now lead the Chinooks 8-5 in the bottom of the 6th.
Quiggle, I'm sure, would want a home run there, but gets the job done with the sacrifice fly. A nice job from him.
And he sent it into the power alley of right field. It looked good off the bat, but just a little too much air under it as Nick Brooks steps in with 2 outs now as we're in the home half of the 6th inning. Spencer Henson still stands on first, but Caleb Van Blake is in the dugout after scoring the 8th run for the Miners. So Barker trying to get out of this inning with just 2 runs given up as he misses away with the fastball. 1-0. Brooks today, he's 0 for 3. Did reach in the 3rd inning on a fielder's choice. So he went 0 for 4 last night against the Chinooks. Would definitely not like to repeat that performance today. As he fouls it straight back, the count goes to 1-0. The Miners now with 186 runs on the season in total, as they've scored 8 today and now 32 in their past 6 games, 33 that is. So the only scoring 2 last night, but definitely bringing it back at home where they've averaged 4.7. 1-1 to Brooks. He lines it foul and out of play to the right side. Count goes to 1-2. So the Miners well ahead of that 4.77 mark with 8 today. Also batting at a clip of 280. And those 8 hits are also doing quite well. So Nick Brooks will take his time entering back into the box as he's down the count 1-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Barker's pitch. A bender that misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. So looks like Bryce Tossane has delivered all of his warm-up tosses and is ready to enter this ball game as he stands next to some of his fellow counterparts in the bullpen. Barker no one up in the Chinooks pen, so he'll work out of this rest of the 6th inning. Nick Brooks shoots one into left field. Moving back is the Chinooks left fielder who plays it off the wall. Spencer Henson zooming into third, and Nick Brooks has a 2-out double. Put runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Mat-Su Miners.
Well, I was wondering when Brooks was going to join the hit parade. It finally comes here in the bottom of the 6th.
So after going 0 for 4 last night, Nick Brooks hops back on the hit train with his 2nd double of the season. And both of his hits against the Chinooks have been doubles. So Aaron Walters will step to the dish from the left side as he tries to extend this 8-5 lead for Mat-Su. A great chance to do so, just has 2 outs on them already. So Barker from the stretch comes set at his chest. First pitch to Walters is looked at for a strike, 1-0. Saw last night Aaron Walters wearing the batting gloves. Elects to not wear batting gloves on natural surfaces, much like the home place at Herman Brothers Field. So 0-1 is the count. The next pitch, a nice breaking pitch as Barker's hat flies off yet again. Count goes to 0-2 on Walters. Walters only striking out 19 times this season. Had a hit in his last at-bat, so now has 4 against the Chinooks. So Chugiak-Eagle, that sac fly was his 19th RBI of the season, going back to his sac fly. But right now an 0-2 count to Walters. He blasts one into right center field. Moving back is Ballinger and Forte. They'll play it off the wall. That's going to bring in Henson. It'll bring in Brooks. And Aaron Walters on his horse gets all the way into third with a 2-out, 2 RBI triple. What do you say, Wally? Why not give the Mat-Su Miners a 10-5 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning over the Chinooks, as they are now in prime position to clinch this season series over Chugiak?
Well, just a great piece of hitting again from Aaron Walters. He drove it right into the gap in right center fields. A long bomb, and finally he gets past second base. I know he had 9 doubles entering into the day. Now he gets his first triple.
So Walters, 17 RBIs now on this summer campaign. He stands on third. Josh Hatcher will step up from the left side. He looks at a ball from Barker outside, 1-0. Still no one up in the Chinooks pen, as the Miners have brought across 4 runs in this ball game, scoring all of them in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and now 6th innings. So Barker misses inside to Hatcher. Count goes to 2-0. So Barker from the stretch, his 2-0 pitch. That misses outside to Hatcher. He's worked a 3-0 count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. So this is the 3rd time this season that the Mat-Su Miners have scored 10 or more runs. 2 of them coming at home as Hatcher takes a strike that hit every portion of the plate, as he now is in a hitter's count. Hatcher a single in the 2nd, walk in the 4th, and struck out in his last at-bat in the 5th. So 1 for 2 in this game 1 of the doubleheader. He fouls this one straight back into the glove of J. Paul Fullerton. for strike. So a full count now with 2 outs. Michael Barker trying to get out of this very long 6th inning in which the Matsu Miners are looking like they're on their way for their 5th win against the Chinooks at home. The payoff pitch. Hatcher fouls it off and will stay at 3-2. Mentioned that 5th win. The Miners currently sit 4-0 at home against the Chinooks, and they try to go above 500 in the doubleheader category at 7-6 on days of doubleheaders, as the Chinooks have won the past 2 contests between these 2 teams. Hatcher bounces one just over the head of Barker, and that's going to work its way into center field. So the runs will keep on coming, as this truly has been a rally in the valley, as Aaron Walters touches home plate for the 11th run of the game for the Matsu Miners. They now hold a 6-run lead, 11-5, thanks to the RBI single of Josh Hatcher, his 11th hit of the 12th hit of the season, and 5th RBI. And the only man that has not stepped to the plate in this inning is Tyler Bozzetti. Bozzetti 1 for 2 today. Did have an RBI double in his first at-bat. He'll take a strike alone inside 1-0. So Josh Hatcher will stand on first. He's been the hot bat today, or been one of the hot bats. Miners has truly been a team effort. As Bozzetti hits one hard down the third base line, it'll just go left of the third base bag. So the count will move to 1-1. So Michael Barker really working this inning, and it looks like the Chinooks are just going to ride him out, as they have yet to have anyone even stretching up in the bullpen. So as the Miners lead 11-5, and the Chinooks are 2-6 on doubleheader days. Looks like that'll drop to 2-7, as they are in the hunt for the playoffs. They're only a half game behind the Pilots, who sit in 4th, as the top 4 teams make it into the playoffs in the ABL. 1-1 count, 2 down, bottom of the 6th inning. Miners lead 11-5. Tyler Bozzetti looks at a ball high. The count goes to 2-1. So Bozzetti with the slightly open stance in the right-handed batting box. This one gets away from J. Paul Fullerton, will go to the backstop, and Josh Hatcher will move over to second, and now a 3-1 count to Tyler Bozzetti. Tell you what, Connor, Michael Barker really having a rough go of it out there, as this is now his 4th appearance in which he's allowed 4 more runs.
Well, that's just tough, for Barker, and it looks like he's going to be the last man to go on the mound for the Chinooks. It's going to be his job to try to retire the inning.
So the 3-1 is into Bozzetti and misses high and away. So another walk issued, and now the Miners have officially batted around. The man who got things going in this inning, Connor Denning, will step up to the plate, as that is now the 2nd walk issued by Michael Barker this inning, in his 2nd inning of work. So Connor Denning, the switch hitting designated hitter, batting from the right side, as he's seen nothing but lefties today. As there's runners now on 1st and 2nd for the Miners, they lead 11-5. Next pitch misses low. Count goes to 1-0. So the Miners just been a really dominant team at home this season. We mentioned 14-4, averaging up near 5 runs a game. Have 11 today and a 6-run lead. They truly are just a different animal at Herman Brothers Field. Barker's 1-0 pitch. This one misses in the dirt. The count goes to 2-0. And Connor, I understand this is a doubleheader and you really don't want to work a lot of your pitchers, but no one even up in the Chinooks pen. I'm sorry, I just do not understand the logic.
Well, I think that this game is a little out of hand for the Chinooks to try to come back in the top of the 7th. There's no use in using a pitcher just to get out one more batter. And, this is going to be Michael Barker's beast to handle.
This 2-0 pitch misses low. It's a 3-0 count to Connor Denning, who's looking to get on for the 2nd time this game. Barker's pitch. This barely hits the upper part of the strike zone. It's a 3-1 count now with 2 outs. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a position player came in for the Chinooks. They've converted a pitcher into a hitter, so why not a position player into a pitcher? The hitter's count pitch to Denning. This one nails the outside corner. Count is now 3-2.
Well, they could take Cole Whitman, who's out in left field right now, and just switch him with Michael Barker. That could be something that we could see.
Yeah. So Denning started this inning with a strikeout. He sits at a full count right now. The payoff pitch. Denning fouls it off. So he'll stay alive at 3-2. The runners will be on the move with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a full count. As Josh Hatcher stands on second, he had an RBI double, and Tyler Bozetti just reached on a walk. So Denning stands back in. 1 for 3 today. Looks for his second hit. The payoff pitch from Barker. Denning lines one just past the outstretched glove of Wharton. Coming up to make the play is Whitman. Josh Hatcher will come in to score. The throw into third is not in time. And Connor Denning, have yourself a day, kid. His second RBI off of his second hit gives the Miners a 12-5 lead.
Well, if you're going to have base hits, you might as well hit the runners in on base. That's exactly what Denning has used his hits for today, and just nice job from him.
So a 12-5 lead, as we will now see a mound visit for the Chinooks, as this definitely has been quite the inning. And it looks like we may have a change as some gloves were exchanged, as it looks like there will be a change. So we'll step aside to finalize everything that's going on. When we come back, we'll have the pitching change and anything else that has occurred in this bottom of the 6th inning. Miners lead 12-5 over the Chinooks on Matsu Miners Radio. Matsu Miners Internet broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
So a lot of changes and a lot of abnormal things have just happened in this short break that we have taken. So we'll start things off with the defensive changes. Jared Ricklatus, the pitcher, will come in to play right field. Ballinger will move in to play second base, and that is Cole Whitman out on the left. He started the inning there. Collins at first, and on the mound is Luke Van Dover. So his first pitch of the ball game is into Drew Swift for a strike. 0-1. We mentioned Van Dover on the mound for the Chinooks, a position man. He relieves Michael Barker, and Van Dover misses outside with the fastball. 1-1. So Barker, who goes 1 2/3 innings, will have his final stat line after the break, as Drew Swift towers one into the middle of the infield. Ranging under it is Seth Ballinger for out number 3. So a wild inning for the Matsu Miners as they score 6 runs in this bottom of the 6th inning to really blow open this game. They now lead the Chinooks 12-5 as we enter the final inning on Matsu Miners Radio.
I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately, so does something else: childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Matsu Miners Internet Broadcast is sponsored by the Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and owner Jim Ruda. Stop into one of your locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts of Alaska and ask about a Matsu Miners jersey giveaway. So stop in and enter for your chance to win today.
I'm Josh Haley, left.
What's up, guys? This is Spencer Henson, infielder at Oral Roberts University, and you're listening to Matsu Miners Radio.
So the Chinooks will have 3 outs to work with as they now trail by 7 runs thanks to a 6-run explosion in the 6th inning by the Matsu Miners bats, and they'll have to do it against a tough man on the mound and right-handed closer Bryce Tossan. Bryce has pitched well for the Miners this season in 17 appearances, has 9 saves, which is good for first in the ABL, as this is a non-save opportunity. Nevertheless, in 18 2/3 innings pitched, has a .96 ERA, struck out 21, and has only walked 6. And in 2 appearances against the Chinooks, he has gone 2 innings, has a save, and only 1 run given up, which was not earned in 2 strikeouts. So J. Paul Fullerton will get things going for the Chinooks here in the top of the 7th inning, as the Miners look to take game 1 of this doubleheader and also clinch the season series at 6-4. So Tossan from the windup, his first pitch of the 7th inning. It's a fastball that nails the lower portion of the plate, 0-1. Bryce last appeared a few nights ago, came on for the save, as his 0-1 pitch is flied out into left field. That is in foul ground out towards the Chinooks bullpen. So now down on the count is Fullerton. Fullerton has been the man for the Chinooks today. He's 2 for 3 with that grand slam coming in his last at-bat in the 5th inning, as it looked like the Chinooks were just going to make this a tight one, but then the Miners brought it back in the 6th inning with 6 runs. Tossan misses inside with a fastball, 1-2. Bryce Tossan out of southeastern Louisiana, where he just finished up his redshirt junior year. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed by J. Paul Fullerton for a strikeout. So 1 down now in the top of the 7th inning. Bryce Tossan, check that, just finished up his redshirt sophomore year. Has 22 strikeouts now on the season, as Fullerton has struck out 27. That brings up Anthony Forte. He is 1 for 3 today. Had an RBI double back in the 3rd inning and flew out in his last at-bat. He takes a strike on the lower portion of the plate, 0-1. So now in 7 out of the 10 games played, the winning team, even if the Chinooks come back, has scored 5. So when either of these teams to play, normally it's a high-scoring affair, as Tossan misses high and away for a ball. So 1-1's the count in the top of the 7th inning. Next pitch from Tossan misses inside. The count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Forte now 8 hits against the Miners in 21 at-bats, as last night was his 12th no-hit game. He sends one out into left field, but it's slicing foul. Josh Hatcher run out of room to get to it. So a 2-2 count now with 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Bryce Tossan, who came and appeared a few days ago, set down the Pilots after only he allowed a hit and a walk, but no runs to shut the door on the Oilers. And Bryce Tossan sets Forte down on a called 3rd strike for the 2nd out here in the top of the 7th inning. So first 2 batters he's seen, he's set down via the strikeout, as that'll bring up Jordan Wharton, as the Chinooks are down to their final out. They trail by 7, 12-5 in game 1 of today's doubleheader. Bryce Tossan's first pitch to Wharton nails the lower outside corner, 0-1. Wharton is 0 for 3 today, striking out in his last at-bat. So the right-handed hitter looks to keep the Chinooks alive. Tossan's 0-1 pitch is fouled back. Now he just needs 1 more strike to win this ball game. In front of a strong crowd here at Herman Brothers Field in game 1 of this doubleheader, Bryce Tossan trying to clinch the season series against the Chinooks with this pitch. Winds and deals. Misses low, so the count goes to 1-2. Miners also trying to go 5-0 at home against the Chinooks this season, as all 4 of their losses have come on the road. Tossing a long look in. Now winds and fires. They check down to first. Did he go? He did not. We'll keep playing baseball. Count is 2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Miners lead the Chinooks 12-5. The Miners look to hold that first place lead over the Bucks. Tossan's 2-2 pitch, a fastball that misses away. So Wharton has worked a full count now at 3-2. Wharton has also struck out now in 9 straight games. A full count pitch, a tapper down third base line. It'll just get by Tyler Bozetti, and Jordan Wharton extends this ball game with a base hit in the top of the 7th inning. Tough play for Bozetti, who dived out for it.
Yeah, a little tough play, a little awkward dive for it too, as he landed on his glove instead of just kind of sliding through. Looked like he kind of landed on his hand to try to smash the ball down into the ground, but appears to be all right. Ready for the next play.
So only a 15th hit surrendered against Bryce Tossan this year, as the Chinooks have a runner on first. They'll need a lot more on if they want to tie this game up, but a 2-hopper to Drew Swift is tossed to second for out number 3. So the Matsu Miners do it. They win game 1 of today's doubleheader and have clinched the season series against the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks, as they currently lead that 6-4 and are 5-0 at home against the Chinooks. So game 2 will be followed very shortly in about 30 or 40 minutes. We will have the coverage for you on our YouTube channel. Connor Mills will be on the play-by-play for that one, and I will move over to the color position, I guess I should say. So Josh Haley is the winning pitcher today for the Miners, and taking the loss will be Larson Kindrick. And Bryce Tossan did slam the door in the 9th, but unfortunately it was a non-save situation. So the Miners improve to 24-15 on the season. The Chinooks fall to 16-23. The Miners are now 15-4 at home, and the Chinooks drop to 5-15 on the road. So as I mentioned, we'll have game 2 coming up very shortly. For Connor Mills, this is Brad Walker, and for the final time tonight, or for the final time for game 1, the Miners win 12-5. And as always, it's been a pleasure.